I'm two. On one day on my third, I was too broke, now I'm too rich. Made 100K on my third shift. I'm a boy, so boy, and I'm a gangster. And you a boy.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. 2 1-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's got him in, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. Now they try the right side here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Nowhere. On the ball.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Good job. Too easy. Shut down. Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Don't go. Which one? I got it left.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded inside the 5. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. play fake here on first down. To the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. A first down throw for Winston. Over the middle, complete. That's Cook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They go play action here on first down. He's going to air one out, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And down he'll go at the 25. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Winston. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Now he's forced out left. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. And this is going to be intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And they'll be down just outside of the end zone at the 1-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Joe Schobert in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Now they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
Come on now, come on now, let's go.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And he'll take it just outside the 40. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack for Seat. They attack him here. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a 1st down.
5 on the 50, 5 on the 50, 5 on the 50. Here we go, even.
Here's Kamara, try to run for it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Jameis now on 1st down. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Charles, there's something special about one of those big D linemen bringing it in. Off the tip there, really nice coordination.
Very much so, and I think what we've seen, and I'm going to put it at about the last 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, coaches placing a bigger emphasis on ball drills, even for defensive linemen, because possession is so key. And you've got a chance to take one away. You want people comfortable with the football, and it paid off there.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get 4 yards on the carry there, and we will get to the end of the first quarter of play. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Rams on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now a play fake. Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No
him.
one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On the counter, here's Kamara. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Working out of the gun, Winston. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Let's go now.
A give. This is Kamara. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Two running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? Winston setting up the receiver screen here to Thomas. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Following the interception, Winston. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Wins to throw on 2nd down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for L.A. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
2nd down, Winston. He gets it to Thomas. And now running right through him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 1:57 to go in this first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Winston now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Catch here, left side, Thomas. Touchdown, 49ers. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now Abdullah, the return. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And this one is incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. The Rams on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. So the false start will back them up 5. That's going to set them back 5 yards. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Throwing is Wentz. Dancing, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken around the 12. Oh, twisting away. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. Here's Winston. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. DeForest Buckner busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. A 10th carry for Kamara. And some room to maneuver. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Eluding the pressure right. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Set the valve in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT. And a rout is on here in this 1st half. Elliott now to kick this one away. Now Abdullah, the return. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. And this is going to put them back with a not great field position. So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to be taken down here, as that will lead us to the end of the 1st half of play. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Now Dion Lewis to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's a bootleg with Winston. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Niners on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, we got 3, we got 3 down.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run it again with Kamara. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Wait. Hey,
Play fake. Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
Wentz now on first down. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
57 Mike.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Steps away to his left. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
4 down. Alert.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Winston now. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing, Winston. And he finds Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The 12 yards that time and picking up the 1st. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go. It's time to play. Even. 4 down. Even. Hey, base. Hey. 5-0.
Again, it's Kamara. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The Niners on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. Jameis to throw it. And that is incomplete. Derek Kindred there to get a hand on that one.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
120.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. He'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That goes for a gain of 31. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. Wentz now to throw. They'll set up the screen here to mix him. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Carlson is good. And they'll make a small dent in that big deficit as it's down to 27. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, 4 down. Ready, blue ready. Slam. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. Trucks over it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Niners on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. Now Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback, because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
We got 3.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Rams on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
81.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Jameis now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue ready. Watch what's that.
Now a pitch out to Kamara. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Hey, 5 on the 50.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Let's go now.
On third down, here's Kamara. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
4 down.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Running with Kamara. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Guilt trip is here, baby. Guilt trip is here.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Tighten up. Hey, 5-0. Ready?
Trying the left side with Kamara. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The Niners on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
some of the most unselfish players on any football team? Defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now Abdullah, the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now a play fake. Wentz. He's going to let it fly. This is caught. Touchdown, L.A. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Carlson now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Coming left is Kamara. Oh, able to avoid him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the 49ers, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for L.A.,